Hey everybody, and welcome to the Rebel Show. Thanks for tuning in. I didn't do an episode last week because I went on a little vacation up to Breckenridge, trying to get some rest and just relax. And, it's good to be back. It's good to be doing a show again. It's been a great weekend so far. It's Saturday, and it's been a good week. And, we have a new Supreme Court justice, so I want to congratulate Kavanaugh on being nominated and going through the process, as crazy as it was. And, it's crazy that we live in societies that will go to the lengths they will go to try to get their way, or try to take someone that they don't like or they don't think is qualified and destroy their lives to get what they want. It's just wrong. We shouldn't have to deal with that, and we shouldn't do that. Elections have consequences. And it's important to remember that there's balance. It goes back and forth, and sometimes you're not always going to be happy with how things work. But the media always paints the picture like it's going to be the end of the world. Well, as far as I know, no women dropped dead today after the nomination, and I don't think any are going to have any women drop dead tomorrow. It's just not going to happen. The media paints a picture that they think's the way things are going to happen, just to scare us into the tactics of the alt-left, and it's wrong. And as Americans, we're getting tired of it. There's a group of people out there that may want a life like this, but the rest of just the normal Americans are tired of it. We don't want nothing to do with it. We're tired of it. And you'd think that after someone like Donald Trump was elected, an angry nation that's tired of games and tired of stupid tactics elects a Donald Trump. A nation that's happy with their society and good with moving forward in that direction doesn't. So, this is a message to people out there that maybe your tactics are not something that we want here. Maybe we don't want this extreme thing, these extreme viewpoints. Maybe we want to have our freedoms and have our paychecks and have jobs, and maybe it's time to tend to the needs of America. We're done playing games, and we're uniting. It's time to take a step back and look and take in what's been happening the past few years and see that we don't need to be a society that's split on this party and that party, this issue and that issue, and we're missing the bigger picture. We're missing what we're leaving in this warfare we're having is a disaster to our children. We're distracted from what we really should be focused on. We're getting too dependent on government to solve everything. Big government isn't the answer to everything. The states and the local representatives should be solving the problems locally, and it shouldn't all go to the government. It shouldn't all be about the government, the big government. The local government should be the people that listen to the average guy like me and then takes that opinion, and we move forward, Other countries are developing weapons and tech, and we're arguing about borders and stuff. We need strong borders. There's big problems going out there, and we're focused on the parties and who's in power and agendas and being against each other versus tackling the issues that are out there. There's a lot of hurting people out there in the world. There's a lot of poverty out there in the world. And that's important. But a poor nation can't help another poor nation. It takes wealth to get there. And I've talked about it before, that Americans need to be given the freedom to go out and get wealth and to build their own wealth and take care of their own families and their own lives and be able to hire their own employees in the companies that they build. And we should be aiming up and striving to go up, find leadership that wants to find like mentors and stuff that want to take us up and then go up, and our incomes will go up. And as a nation grows and gets stronger, it'll have finances to help other nations. Don't we want to spread what we've done and give it to other people? Don't we want to help other nations come up by learning the techniques we have? We need to get away from the politics and activists talking about identity politics, racism, and inequality every step of the way. There's going to be inequality. There's going to be a couple racist people. But, as Americans, we're Americans. Yeah, there's African American, Asian American, all that. But you know what? We need to be united as Americans, as a whole people. And our goal should be to improve our lives, improve ourselves, and we can help improve the world that way. At the same time, progress is moving slowly. The country is being foreshadowed by an agenda that people aren't wanting. This socialist agenda, people aren't for it. We don't want equal poverty. It's better to have a little bit of injustice in incomes than everybody be poor. What can you do poor? Nothing. We need the availability to go and do what we need. And we need to become a nation that builds wealth, and then we can give and build other nations. Not through government necessarily. Government is overreaching in too many places. And the media doesn't help. It pushes its agenda or pushes the agenda of the left, and it hides much of the truth from the American people. We need to look ahead to our children's and what we're handing off to them. Now, I'm a newer father. I have a young daughter, and I've been thinking about, what am I when I get older, and what is she going to inherit? Is she going to be able to have an opportunity to go find a good job, make some money, maybe use that money to start a business or something? Or will the government regulate every single thing under the sun like it's been doing? No, there needs to be freedom for people to go out and do what we need. Freedom to make choices, freedom to actually have choices in healthcare, freedom to have choices in careers, freedom to have choices amongst doctors and different things, freedom of religion. If you want to believe in something, you should have the right to believe in it. As long as you're not infringing on someone else's rights, believe whatever you want. There's things that people believe out there all the time that are terrible. Like some of these neo-Nazi people and stuff that they believe in that and they have the right to, but it's wrong and it's not good. But you know what? As long as they don't hurt anyone else, they can go into their little basements and believe in that, It's when you start to take your beliefs to the violent stage. And we've seen that. The tolerant people that claim to be tolerant of everyone else are now the ones out drop kicking people and roundhouse kicking people's cameras. And it's so tolerant, And these same people, you look at after the protests are done, they're leaving all of their trash around. I was looking at pictures today of all these different signs just thrown on the ground, I see that a lot with the environmentalists. They'll go out and protest a pipeline, and because it's destroying the environment, and then they show the area around the area where they protested, and it's totally trash and signs and junk everywhere. Come on. We're better than this. We're stronger than this. What is so wrong with the president's policies? You don't like his personality? That's understandable. He may have a personality that you don't like. That's okay. But I think Americans are trying to send a message to the government and to the world and to politicians that, we're done. We're done playing these games. Since 2010, the Democratic Party has lost the House, the Senate, the presidency, and their justices are being taken away, and now it's going conservative. I mean, you push too hard, the pendulum swings back the other way pretty hard. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful. We got to stop and we got to think. America wants to live we want the American dream to exist here, and we want people to come. We want people to migrate to this country and have a better place. But there needs to be the rule of law. We need to abide by the laws that are there. And it's important that we put these laws in place. We need to abide by them. It's important. They're there on purpose. We're a nation of laws. If not, we're just a chaotic guerrilla state. And we don't want that. We want to live peaceful, happy lives, So we have a strong economy, the lowest unemployment since 1969, 3.7%. The stock market's doing well. Jobs are being created. Businesses coming back. We're working to secure the border. Well, we've defeated ISIS, essentially. There's probably little pockets here and there. The the Korean Peninsula is working on peace, and we're really hoping for that. It's no nukes there, we got to get that stuff out of there. We have good relationships with our allies. We're working on really good fair trade deals, and we're having Supreme Court justices that judge based on the Constitution. They shouldn't be activists. They should be reading the documents and judging based on what the intent of the laws are, the original intent of the laws. That's what the justices are supposed to do. They're not supposed to judge based on opinion. And when you get a judge that's an activist who's just wanting to push his agenda through, that's defeating the purpose. And I've heard that, like, with Kavanaugh being nominated for the Supreme Court, that it was kind of destroying the integrity of the court. No, the integrity was already destroyed when you went against the Constitution and just judged on your beliefs or whatever. So this is a message that we're putting out there, that Americans are strong, Americans are fired up, and Americans, we need to go out and vote, and we need to vote for people that are going to uphold our way of life, or else we're going to lose it, and we're going to end up like a Venezuela or something at some point. And I'm talking to the Christians. The Christians have the power here. The Christians have the availability to go out and win elections, and we need to rise up and do our duty and vote. I'm talking to you, Christians. Let's rise up. Let's be the army of God. Let's be a nation of God, and let's go vote, and let's win. Thank you very much.